What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. This is Cartel Crew Season 3, Episode 5. So listen, here's the reality of the situation. We pick up where we left off. Stephanie and Ali are trying to clear the air. Production wants them to do this scene. You know, Kat is like, listen, I'm not going to let you get physical, but go ahead and talk to the girl. Let her say what she needs to say. So Ali comes out and she apologizes to Stephanie. Now, her apology started off pretty damn good. You know, she said, listen, I was wrong for what I said. I know I put people in danger and I sincerely apologize. You know, I didn't come here to fight you. I really don't want this. But in all reality, I'm really here for us to just make up, right? For us to just make up. Now, then it seemed like she went left and was like, well, I mean, with everything we went through this year, like, we don't need to be sitting here fighting over something that happened 2 years ago. And Stephanie was like, listen, let me explain something to you. For you, it was 2 years ago. For me, that affected my family. You put my dad in danger. You put my whole family in danger. People could have took what you said very seriously, and they could have went real left with it. And, you know, as a result, like, my dad still ain't really rocking with me. So for you, yes, it was 2 years ago, and it's something that happened in a silo, and you can move on with your life. But for me, I'm still dealing with the repercussions of what you did. See, now at that moment, there's really nowhere else to go with that. Sometimes you do something and you make a mistake and you apologize. That person doesn't have to accept that apology. That person doesn't have to feel no way about it. That person doesn't have to like you. That person don't have to forgive. Like, none of that. All you can do is apologize and hope that Stephanie will forgive you. But if she doesn't, okay, we move on. And that's kind of where they were with that. Stephanie left, you know, and it was what it was. Now, the next day we see Kat meeting up with Diana. Now, listen, I don't know if this was editing or if they got some special kind of gas stations down to the Miami. But did y'all see that Kat pulled up to the gas station? She pulled in front of a pump, got out the car, and they showed her walking across the parking lot, and she went to a restaurant and sat down with Diana. Ma'am, your car is sitting in front of a gas pump. You're not in a parking space. I mean, maybe it's a gas station where, like, it's a valet and they fill up your tank and then you go to... I don't know. And I know that that's a petty thing, but see, I be noticing stuff like that because I had to look at it twice because I was like, she's sitting in front of a damn gas pump. How's she going to go in and have a car? Anyway. Excuse me. So she's meeting with Diana and they're talking about what happened with Stephanie. And Diana was like, listen, I don't have no beef with Stephanie, but Stephanie seems to have a problem with me because I was hanging with Eddie. She seemed to be feeling some kind of way, and I'm not going to keep doing this with Stephanie. Like, every time we see each other, it is not going to turn into a situation. Now, what happened last night, I understand she was upset about the whole thing with Ali. I wasn't expecting Ali to be there either, and I understand where that comes from. You know, at the end of the day, but let's be clear, she threw something at me. It cut my finger, and all I was thinking was that could have been my head. That could have been something more serious. And honestly, I just don't have the energy for that. Like, I ain't even trying to do all of that with her. And Stephanie was like, well, I mean, Kat was like, well, I am having, you know, I'm hosting Marie's bridal shower. And Stephanie's going to be there. So I just want everybody to understand that y'all going to be there. I'm not going to not invite one of y'all because y'all got something that y'all dealing with. And y'all just going to have to handle it however y'all going to handle it, you know. So then we have Michael and Marie and this damn prenup. Listen, I'm not going to prolong this. Marie's going to sign the prenup. Michael is like, oh, babe, that just, oh, my gosh, you just don't know how much that means to me. You know, that lets me know that just, you know, how much you really love me. You know, Marie was like, listen, I love you so much that I'm not going to let this piece of paper stop me from marrying you. I love you. I don't want nothing from you but your love. So here go the paper. Like, she had already signed it and gave it to him, and he's crying and she's crying and child, whatever. So then we see Mike, Magic, and Eddie. They meeting down to the cigar bar. They having themselves a little cohiba, and they talking the talk. And they're talking about, you know, Eddie's talking about trying to get off of probation, you know, how much of a hassle it is and everything he has to go through. Magic is talking about trying to get his record expunged. He was like, you know, 5 years after, you know, after you commit the crime, then you can appeal, you know, you can put in the paperwork to try to get your record expunged, which means that you can vote again. That means you can you can apply to carry a concealed weapon. That means that employers can't look up, and see if you are a convicted felon. And so that's what he's actually working on right now. And then Michael says, well, listen, that ain't gonna never be my story. He said, I'll never have that experience because he's in America. He's an immigrant. He's not a legal U.S. citizen. And he can never be a legal U.S. citizen. He's here on some type of an asylum because if he actually does go back to Colombia, he's going to probably be murdered, That's why he couldn't go. When they went to Colombia a few years ago, he couldn't go. They were like, nah, we can't ensure your safety. Remember, Marie couldn't go either. Remember, they didn't want Marie going over there. So, because they were like, we just can't ensure your safety. Like, it's just way too much. And Michael was saying that, he has to renew his driver's license every year. He has to renew his work permit every year. If he doesn't have employment, then, that's immediate grounds for him to be, sent back to Colombia. And so he was just like, everybody don't understand, like, this, it ain't, like, what we going through, it ain't easy, and, everybody's story and, they talk about the criminal justice system, and I get it. Like, I definitely get it. I have a problem with the fact that our criminal justice system, you are punished and then you are constantly punished. Once you get out of jail, you should just be done. You're out of jail. Like, if the purpose is to punish you for it, then you be punished. I understand being on a probationary status in some situations. But even then, make it realistic and make it reasonable for somebody to be successful instead of trying to play a gotcha game for somebody to fail. Anyway, so Betty goes over to Diana's house. Diana said, listen, I appreciate you doing this favor for me. I know it's going to be hard for you because of what, you're dealing with your sister, but I really, really appreciate you talking to my kids. And so Betty's coming over to talk to their kids about, running with the wrong people, making good decisions, and specifically talking to her daughter with that whole situation with the gun. Now, what we got a little bit more information in this conversation, and what we found out is that the older sister actually had taken the younger sister to this party, and that they didn't really know, like, the sister knew some of the guys but didn't know all of the guys, and she said, well, I thought about leaving, but then I didn't leave because, we were having a good time, we were partying, and I didn't want to be the spoiled sport, really, was what it boiled down to. And, Betty was giving them some tough love. Betty was talking to them like, listen, like, y'all got to make better decisions. Y'all have to make better decisions, and y'all got to think about the people that you are hanging around with, because if these people don't care about you. She said, do you know how many people get killed playing with guns? And don't nobody care. Like, the police don't care. You are a black or brown child. The police don't care about us. The police aren't going to, care about what happened at the end of the day. And these people don't care about you. Like, they're playing with a gun to a point where you can get killed. And that's what happened to my sister. My sister she was at a party with people she knew, but she didn't know those guys that had the gun. And she ended up getting killed. And there's no coming back from that. You have to think about the decisions that you're making, about the people you're hanging with, about the company that you're keeping. And, Betty was coming off real harsh, but they needed to hear it, and they needed to really understand. Diana was like, listen, at the end of the day, I know that I come, I'm a hard on the outside, but at the end of the day, if something ever happens to y'all, I wouldn't know what to do with myself. And Betty was like, what about your dad? Like, your dad is locked up right now. How can you imagine your dad getting that information? What does he do with that information? And so, when it was over with, after she gave him the tough love, she said, now give me a hug. And I was here for it. I was here for that whole moment. I appreciate it. I think it needed to be said. I hope, that the kids walked away from something. Later on in the episode, Diana said that the girls did seem to, like, they picked up on something and that they, changed some things. So I hope it's long-term and not a short-term situation, So we're at the bridal party, the bridal shower for Marie. It's a garden party tea theme. The ladies are dressed up in their garden party, tea party, Sunday's best. They look really nice. Now, it was at Stephanie's mom's house. They asked if they could host it at Stephanie's mom's house. And so Stephanie got there early to talk to her mom. And she told her mom about what happened at the party. And she said, I'm tired of being that person. She said, I blamed her for a lot of, where my relationship is with my dad right now. But at the end of the day, I don't want to always be that person that's throwing things and acting crazy and just, being a maniac. And her mom was like, listen, I get it. Like, I understand, and I understand how serious that accusation was, but at the end of the day, all you can do is either forgive her or not and move on. But you cannot allow that person to get you so far out of your personality that you are reacting that way. Like, you can't allow her to do that. And so Stephanie was like, she said, you're right. She said, you're right. Her mom was like, listen, I know your dad ain't no damn snitch. Like, it is what it is. It happened. It was said. It was done. We moved on. We've dealt with it. But you can't allow them to get you just out of your comfort that way. So the ladies all show up, everybody shows up, and the more and more they're talking about the bridal shower and the different events for the bridal party or whatever, when we found out that Miss Izzy, I believe it's Izzy, she's not a bridesmaid, but yet she's getting invited to all these different events. And I feel like on one hand, I feel like she might feel some way about it, but on the other hand, I feel like she maybe not does it. You know what I'm saying? Because she was just like, they made a comment about the bridal party, and she was like, well, I'm not a bridesmaid. And then they turned it into a big deal. Now, I don't know if it was a big deal to her or not. Like, I don't know if she really cared about being part of the bridal party. But they made a big deal about it. And, and then, inviting her, to be a part. So Diana ends up showing up. And Stephanie is giving Diana that look. Because remember, Stephanie and Diana kind of got some unfinished business from the party. And Stephanie says, listen, I know that today is about Marie. But I do have something I want to say. I'm sorry about the other night. I was out of line. I was doing too much. She might have, maybe that was after Marie got there. But anyway, she apologized about what happened. And how the whole thing went down. She said she was just really out of character. And she's sorry about it. She really is sorry that she did it. And she apologized to the ladies. And of course, everybody accepted her apology. And it was cool. It was okay. Now, Diana gets to talking about how her man that she's worried about who she's going to be walking down the aisle with. Because her man has already asked her if she's ever dated any of these guys. And she dated specifically Magic. Well, remember, her and Magic flirted a little bit on last season. So I feel like that's where her boyfriend's question is coming from specifically. I feel like he watched the damn show. And he saw that Diana and, Magic were flirting a little bit. Now, were they doing it just for a scene? Or did they really, hang out a little bit and maybe go out on a date or two? So I feel like his question was valid. I don't feel like his question was out of line. So anyway, so then she starts, so that's when they were having a conversation about the bridesmaid. And I feel like Diana at one point was like, well, talking to, Izzy, well, if you want to be a bridesmaid, or Aisha, whatever the child name is, well, you could take my place or whatever. I think she said it in a joking way, but she kind of didn't say it in a joking way. But ultimately, she was just like, he feeling some kind of way and he ain't really here for it, So all the ladies are kind of giving a side eye like, I don't know what that's about. Okay. So more and more guests are showing up, and some real friends of Marie's are showing up. People we never really met, people that are really, really her friends. And then Marie shows up with Kat. Kat got her there under the pretense that they were picking Stephanie up to go to the gym, child. But it was cute because they had a change of clothes for her. Because when they showed up, they were in gym clothes. Because that's where she thought she was going. But they did have clothes for her to change into. So she changed into her dress. And everybody looked really nice. And everybody was in theme. And so Stephanie went to go get a drink. No, Diana went to go get a drink, I think. And then Stephanie went to follow her to talk to her. And, Stephanie gave Diana another apology, and Diana was like, listen, I appreciate it. I understand. Thank you for, apologizing. And she said, listen, I understand. She said, when I got arrested, I made bond. And the first thing everybody said when I made bond was, I must be cooperating. She said, it's Miami. If anything happens that looks halfway out of the norm, people are going to assume that you are cooperating. Like, that's what people do. She said, so I get it. And I understand, I get it. It's no problem. I got you. So, so from there, they go back to the party and everything. And then they start talking about the weekend of the wedding. Michael and Marie have rented a mansion and they want the bridal party to stay there for the weekend. You know, that's where the wedding and everything is going to be. And that way they can kind of all hang out before. And everybody's cool with it. They down with it. So first, the question is about Eddie. Well, Marie has to let, Kat and Stephanie know that Eddie is part of the bridal party, even though she tried to talk Mike out of it. Mike was like, that's my boy, that's my friend, and it is what it is. Like, that's who's in my wedding. So, Kat starts talking about, well, I don't know, I need to be real careful about, what I'm wearing and what I'm doing. I guess I can't drink. And they and it was funny because they brought up a valid point. They were like, so basically, you worried about what you gonna do? Because I don't think we gotta worry about Eddie. Like, remember, Eddie got a whole woman, and he in love, and he ain't gonna push himself on you. If you ain't there and you ain't with it, then it's gonna be what it's gonna be. Then Diana again starts talking about that her man ain't gonna be comfortable with that, and that if she comes, she's gonna have to bring her man with her. Now Marie tells her, well, that's fine, that's no problem. You can bring your man, that's fine. She said he just not gonna feel comfortable with me sleeping in a mansion with a bunch of dudes that he don't know. And I was like, on one hand, I'm like, okay, I get it. But on the other hand, I'm like, girl, it ain't that serious. Like, y'all gonna be in a whole different part of the damn mansion. Like, it's not like y'all gonna be sharing rooms. It's a mansion. Everybody gonna probably have their own damn room. Or if you are gonna have to share a room, it's gonna be with one of the ladies. But okay. So Marie is talking to Mike the next day or later on that day or whenever. And she's telling Mike, they looking at the house. It's a really nice house. And she's like, we need to finalize, wedding stuff. And then she brings up the whole Diana thing. And Mike was like, yeah, that's not happening. And Mike brought up such a valid point. Like, at first, I didn't think about it because I didn't think it was a big deal at first. And I'm sure Marie didn't think it was a big deal at first until Mike broke it down for her. And Mike was like, listen, I don't know him. And from what I'm hearing, he's still out in the streets. And the one thing that I have busted my ass to do in these last however many years was to take Blanco and the Corleone name and make it legit. And that's what I've done. And the last thing I'm going to do is put my freedom in jeopardy, Magic's freedom in jeopardy, and Eddie's freedom in jeopardy by bringing some dude around us that, one, we don't know, two, we know is dibbling dabbling in some stuff he don't need to be dibbling dabbling in, and three, we don't really know his real intention. He said, and last of all, I don't really deal kindly to ultimatums. Like, you don't tell me what I better and better not do and give me stipulations or who I gotta invite this person or I have to invite that person. No, ma'am. He said, and I'm not going to do it. And it's funny because, like I said, I don't think Marie thought nothing about it at first, and I didn't either. But once you bring it down like that, I was like, Mike got a valid point. He has a very valid point, and I understand 100% where he's coming from. So anyway, we're going to see. Diana probably ain't going to see it that way, but we'll see what happens next week, honey. That's it. That's all. Talk to y'all later. Peace.